have not filmed in so long. It's been over a month. Life has been crazy. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching and welcome back. I'm finally back with the video after over a month. Like, it's been too long. A lot has been going on. Like, the month of February was probably the worst month yet. Like, we're just 2 months into the year and already the second year was terrible. Like, terrible. So where do I begin? These lights are so bright, I don't know how I'm gonna do this video, honestly. Okay. So, it all started the end of January. I got sick. I'm gonna start from the beginning because this is a long freaking story and a lot happened. But anyways, so the end of January, I got sick. I got like a sinus infection. It was just my head, like I had a head cold, just a sinus infection. Like, my nose didn't stop running. I had like a headache every freaking day. Like, I just felt like crap. But you know, I pushed through it, still worked, did everything I had to do. Like, I was like, whatever, it's just, it sucks, but gotta get through it. So that happened. Week later, it was the day after the Super Bowl, a Monday, I get in a car accident. Nothing crazy, like, it wasn't like my car's totaled or anything, but still, I was at a stoplight and this lady clearly wasn't paying attention and she hit me from behind. Annoying. So now I gotta get my freaking bumper fixed. But yeah, I'm glad I'm okay. It could have been worse, whatever. Okay? 3 days later, I get a concussion. A freaking concussion. And, like, obviously I've heard of concussions, like, who hasn't? You know, but I've only heard it with, like, athletes, specifically football players and soccer players. And I just thought, like, yeah, concussion hurts, but I'm just like, it lasts, like, a day or two. Like, that's in my mind. I was like, that's what, you know, I thought, because I never had one, never experienced anyone really that had one. So I was just like, yeah, like, you're in pain for 2 days, you take some medicine and you'll be fine. You never know how painful something is until you actually go through it. Like, my mom, she gets crazy migraines that she can't even, like, go to work some days. And, like, you know, I feel bad for her, but it's just like, I never knew what a migraine felt like until I got one, and then I was like, damn, like, this is no joke. Like, I couldn't even get out of bed. Like, so I sympathize now with people who get migraines because that is not fun, and it's just miserable. So the night before, they claimed that it was supposed to be a snowstorm, right? So I wake up, look outside, and it's no snow, like, at all. I was like, oh, okay. And, like, they said it was supposed to rain ice after the snow. And it looked like it rained because, you know, the floor was wet and everything. And then Miguel texts me, like, oh, warm up your car because it's icy. And I was like, okay. So I did. But, like, I don't know, it didn't register to me. I don't know what the heck was going on. I would just had to get to my doctor's appointment. And I freaking walk outside. We have, like, 2 steps in front of our door. And on the first step, I literally just slid. Like, it just looked like it was wet, like, raining. But I'm like, my car's icy. But, like, you know when you see ice, at least here, like, it's a freaking block of ice. And, like, you know it's ice. Like, you know? It's like, you gotta be careful because that shit will have you falling. But, so I didn't see that. It would just look, it literally just, like, looked like it freaking rained. Anyway, so I slipped on the first step. Fell all the way down. It's only 2 steps, but still. Hit my head on the damn cement steps. Like, on the cement. Oh my god. Like, I didn't even have time to, like, you know when you fall and you, like, you know, the first thing is to, like, not fall? Like, you know, your first reaction is to, like, try to hold on to something. Like, it happened so quick I couldn't do anything. Like, I couldn't even try to, like, stop it. Like, I just freaking fell, hit my head on the steps, like where the steps come out, literally hit my head on my right side, fell, my leg hurt, my ass, like where my tailbone is, I hit that too. So, like, I literally, instantly, my vision just went blurry. And I literally stood there for like 2 minutes, like literally just laying on the ground. And I didn't know which one hurt more, like my back, not my back, like my butt area, or my head. Like it both hurt so bad, like my hands were scraped. Um, I was just messed up. So I'm laying there and like nobody's outside and like I was embarrassed. Like, and that's like something you shouldn't be embarrassed, but like when you fall, people laugh and like whatever because they don't know how hard, you hit yourself. So I was like legit embarrassed. I was like looking around, like, did anybody see that? I'm like, I hope nobody just like walks by and it's like, are you okay? I hate that, like the attention, I hate it. So I was like, oh my God, please nobody walk by. Which is so dumb because if something really bad was to happen, like if I lost consciousness, of course I would want somebody to be outside to help me. But anyways, so yeah, I got up and literally I was like crawling to my car because I was like, I don't want to get up and slip again and fall because like I was so much in pain. And like, I don't cry when it comes to pain. Like I've obviously cried before. Like I've broken my wrist, well, fractured it, which is actually worse than actually breaking it. And obviously I cried. I was like, I was like 10 or 9 or 10. Yeah, so obviously that hurt a lot. But honestly, I've broken bones, I've gotten sick, I've like had ammonia, I've had surgery, I've had so many things, and I swear to everything that this was the worst freaking pain of my life. Like the worst. So, yeah, so I fell. I was crawling to my car, got in my car, and like just started crying, like literally bawling because I was in so much pain. I was like, oh my God, like I haven't had, like I fell before and just got back up. Like, yeah, it hurt, but I wasn't gonna cry about it. But no, like this was like just imagine your freaking head hitting cement. Like it was a lot. It was a lot of trauma. Anyways, I go to my doctor's appointment and I tell him like what happened. And she's like, well, if you like feel dizzy and you feel like you're gonna mind you, I drove to my doctor's appointment after this happened. Like literally, I looked at the time and was like, oh my God, I gotta get there. What the hell? Like, what was I thinking? And it wasn't like a physical or anything. It was another doctor's appointment. So it wasn't even like I was there to, like, like a doctor can just like whatever. It was a different type of doctor. So, who's calling me? I'll call her back. So anyways, yeah, so I get there and they're like, oh, like, if you feel like you have to vomit or like you feel sleepy, you need to go to the emergency room. And I was like, okay. Like I was just so much pain, but like in shock too. And like almost like your adrenaline is running. So like it felt worse days after. And I worked that same day. Like what the heck was I thinking? I should have just stayed home and relaxed. No, right? Okay, so I go to the doctors. They bandaged me up because I was bleeding. She checked my head. And yeah, and told me whatever. Mind you, I felt like instantly after it happened and I got in the car to drive, I felt like I had to throw up. The whole freaking, like everything was spinning. I do not recommend that. Don't ever do that. Like if you fall and have a concussion or you think you have a concussion, don't drive. Like I don't know what I was thinking. But yeah, so that happened. I left the doctors and came back home. And like I was just like I said, my adrenaline was running, so I didn't really feel it. So whatever. The next day, like I tell my mom this, like after work, like I go to my parents' house at night, and my mom's like panicking. She's like, oh my God, like you hit your head. Like she's icing it, and my butt, like where my tailbone is, like I'll show you a freaking picture. It bruised so bad instantly. I'll show you in a second. Anyways, because I kind of want to tell you the story. So, yeah. Okay, yeah. So that night, whatever, like I was so nervous. Like Miguel, like woke up every hour to make sure like I was good. Because I was scared. Like people die from concussions. Like I was thinking the worst. Like I never had it. I was like, what if I like have a blood clot in my brain? Like what if, I have internal bleeding? Like I was thinking the worst. You Google things and like, if you ever watch The Parent Trap, with Lindsay Lohan, and she like acts like she's twins, and the mother in that movie, like the actual mother in real life, she died from a concussion. Like she went skiing and she fell. It was like a beginner's slope, and she fell and she hit her head really hard. And the instructor like got in an ambulance or whatever, but she was like, no, 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 like I'm fine, I'll be fine. Next day, like she started to get like really bad like headache, migraine, and she ended up dying. Like literally ended up dying. So that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna die, like this is it, whatever, right? But I didn't go to emergency room because I was like, oh, like I didn't lose consciousness, I'm fine. But whatever. So the next day, like my whole body felt like I got hit by a bus. It was like more my body, like my head hurt, don't get me wrong, but my body felt like I literally got hit by a freaking bus. Like it was so sore, like horrible. And I was like, whatever, like I'm just obviously not gonna work. My mom's like, no, like we gotta go to the emergency room. She's like, she literally didn't go to work that day because she was in panic. Like she thought I was gonna freaking die. And she's like, I couldn't stop thinking about you. Like I couldn't go to work. I have a headache just because I stayed up. So she's like, we need to go to the emergency room just so we can find out. They can do a CAT scan, whatever. So I called my doctor to get a CAT scan. They're like, oh, you gotta go to the emergency room for that, especially because you had a concussion. I was like, okay, whatever. It's just the way for the emergency room to get money. Like, health in America is a freaking scam, but that's a whole nother topic. So anyways, I go to the emergency room and I go to a different one, not somewhere near here, because I'm like, if I go where I'm from, I will literally be in the freaking waiting, like the emergency room for like 20 hours. I'm not even kidding. So I was like, let me go somewhere else, like a small town that nobody goes to. So they took us within 2 hours, not even, probably even less, like an hour and a half. Oh my god, a story about that. I'm just rambling at this point. But no, we get to that emergency room, right? And this lady is like sick. Like she's sick. She must have the flu or something. She's throwing up. Like, she's sitting down and she's a grown woman. She's throwing up in her hand. First, she throws up in the trash next to me. At this point, I was like, let me wear a mask and I'm not trying to get sick on top of it, right? So she throws up in the trash. She's done. She sits down. She throws up in her freaking hand. Like, disgusting. Like, and it's just mind-boggling. Like, you're grown. Like, go to the bathroom. You know what I mean? Like, so she goes to the bathroom. Somebody's in there. So she throws up all on the floor. Doesn't tell anybody. Goes back to her seat, sits down like nothing happened. And I'm like, I clearly see you. So the people coming out the bathroom freaking step in her throw up. Like, that's just disgusting. And like, as an adult, like, you should know, like, yeah, I threw up on the floor. Let me tell someone I threw up on the floor, you know? So whatever, that happened. She throws up again in her hand. This time she looks straight at me and she throws up. I was done. I was like, that is disgusting. I literally said that. I was like, that is disgusting. And my mom like freaked out. Cause she works she works in she works at a hospital too. And it was so funny. She goes, why don't you get a bag? Why don't someone get you a bag? Like, because obviously she signed in. They gave her a wristband and everything. So the lady from like the front desk comes like to see if she's okay. And my mom's like, why don't you get her a bag? Like, because like, we weren't trying to be rude, but it's just disgusting. Everyone's like, it's flu season, everyone has the flu, and you're like throwing up everywhere. Like, come on. Like, if you can't control it, stay in the bathroom. Or you threw up in the trash the first time, so stay next to the trash and throw up until like, but like, if you're already throwing up before, like, as soon as you came to the emergency room, you should have asked for a bag. I don't know, that's just me, whatever. Anyways, so yeah, that happened. So I went to the emergency room that day and I was like, oh, I want a CAT scan just to see, whatever. And they're like, oh, since you're young, we don't want you to put you through that radiation and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, but my cousin's a nurse and she was like, you need to get a CAT scan, you need to get an IV. But I was like, I'm listening what the doctor said. The doctor said not to do it because whatever. So the only thing they did was give me a freaking shot of Motrin. They're like, oh, this is liquid Motrin. It will help with the inflammation. If you feel worse, come back. That's what they did. I waited an hour and a half for them to say that. Like, it was just, like, really waste of time, waste of money, because just to freaking go to the ER is $100. Like, it's ridiculous. So, yeah, that happened. I left or whatever, and I still felt, like, dizzy or whatever, and the doctor said, oh, you know, you'll feel like this up to 2 to 3 weeks. They're like, yeah, you got a concussion, like a severe concussion. Symptoms could last 2 to 3 weeks, whatever. I was like, okay, cool. I felt okay, but like still wasn't like 100%, you know? Like I still was like, I can't like stand up for a long time. Like, you know, I couldn't be on my phone. Like it was just a lot. Like a lot of like lights were bothering me, whatever. So the next day, this is when it gets bad. Like literally so bad. So the next day, I wake up, I would go to use the bathroom, and I'm okay. Miguel goes to the gym, and he's like, oh, you're fine. Like, I'm gonna go to the gym, come back, whatever. I literally get up, like, for the day afterwards, because, you know, I just went to use the bathroom, laid in bed, and then officially was gonna wake up to get ready. I get up, and literally, I get up slow, because I know, like, a normal person that doesn't even get a concussion, you get up way too fast, like, the blood rushes to your head, so you can feel lightheaded, and that happens to me a lot, so, like, I was like, all right, let me get up slow. So I get up slow on the edge of the bed, and as soon as I was about to take a step, the whole room, like, it was, you ever been blacked out drunk? And, like, you close your eyes and it's worse and it's spinny or whatever? It was like that, but it was, like 10 times worse. Like, not even kidding. It literally looked like the room physically moved. It wasn't like, oh my God, I'm dizzy. It feels like the room is, no, like, it looked like the room was spinning. Like it was the weirdest thing ever. So yeah, so that happened, the whole room spinning, and instantly I fall backwards onto my bed. Thank God, like I was still on my bed and I fell backwards on my bed, because imagine if I was standing up and I fell backwards, I would have hit my freaking head again and probably lost like consciousness this time, because obviously I already have a concussion. So, oh my God, so I fell back in my bed, and then I like felt like I was gonna pass out. I started like losing like shortness of breath, like starting to sweat, like literally felt like I was gonna pass out. I tried to get up. Every single time I got up, it felt like the room was spinning again. And then I felt nauseous and I wanted to throw up. Like I was so scared, and I swear it was the worst thing ever. And like for me, when I have to throw up, like that's the worst feeling for me. I hate feeling nauseous. I mean, who likes feeling it? But some people can get through it. When it comes to me being nauseous, like it's the worst thing ever. I can't take it. Like I hate it. So I felt so bad, so I called Miguel, and I'm like, Miguel, I think I have to go to the emergency room. I'm like crying. I'm like, call my mom, and I'm like, Mom, like this happened. Like I have to go to the emergency room. Like something is really not right. Like, you know, the first 2 days, like I was in pain, but it wasn't like this. You know, it wasn't like it was an outer body experience. Like it was freaking crazy. So I literally laid in bed and like prayed. I was like, oh my God, please, 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 like don't let me die. Like it was so bad. Like I swear on everything, I thought I was gonna die. Like I literally thought I was gonna die. I'm not trying to be dramatic, but it's like, it was bad. Like, so Miguel comes rushing, my mom comes rushing. Miguel literally had to pick me up. Like they got me dressed. He literally had to pick me up, put me in the car. Like I couldn't even get up without me wanting to like throw up. Like it was so bad. So he puts me in the car. We get to the emergency room. They got a wheelchair, so I sit in it, and that even like I couldn't even sit up without it doing the same thing. So I was like panicking, because like I was freaking out. I'm like literally bugging out. So I get in the freaking emergency room. Miguel parks his car. My mom takes me in, and like I was like, I can't. I literally go to the ground and lay on the ground and said, just leave me here. I can't get up. Like, I was bugging. The people there probably was like, what the hell is this? Like, you probably thought I was on crack or something. Like I was bugging. And the lady was like, she was like yelling at me. And I'm like, do you not see I'm like obviously in pain? She probably thought I was like a drug addict or something. I'm not kidding, because I was like, she's like, you can't like lay on the ground. You have to stay up. And I'm like, I can't. Like, it was horrible. Like I really, like, I'm telling you, it was so bad. So anyways, they took me immediately, like because I was bugging out. So as soon as they put me in a room, whatever, put an IV on me, take blood tests, do a whole bunch of freaking tests or whatever. And I've never had to go to the emergency room. I never like whatever. So that happened, and you know, thank God everything was fine. They did a CAT scan because I was like, obviously I'm here for the second day. I was like, I need a CAT scan. Like, I can't do this. So like everything came back fine. Like nothing was wrong with my brain. It's just obviously once they put the IV, because they gave me like nausea medicine, and obviously I was dehydrated. So I felt better. I still felt dizzy, but not as bad. So I had to stay there for a few hours, and then they released me, gave me, the only thing they could give me is like medication, like for like nausea. That was it. But it was just so bad. Like, I honestly don't wish that on nobody, like seriously. So anyways, I went to, it's, my friend actually came to the emergency room, and just, I'm gonna show you the picture of my bruise. Like, if my bruise looked like this, it was literally, this was only the second day. No, I'm sorry, this was the actual day that I fell. This is how the bruise looked. But like when I was in the emergency room, I needed help to go to the bathroom. So my friend helps me, and obviously she needed to help me to put my pants down. She looks at my butt and she's like, "Oh my God." She's like, "That's black." Like, it wasn't even a black and blue. It was black. Like, just a huge ass thing. And she's like, "Oh my God, it's so worse." I'm like, "I know, I told you, like, it's really bad." So this is the actual day it happened. I'm gonna zoom in so you don't see like everything. That's like literally right after it happened. That's my birth control. TMI, but yeah. So that's how bad it looked instantly, like the same day. I don't have a freaking picture of it like after, like obviously it gets worse. It was literally black and it was this big. Like, it hurt so bad. So I'm like, my ass is bruised that bad? Imagine my head. So the first week was the worst. The worst. I obviously couldn't work. I couldn't do anything. All I could do was rest. That's all you can do. There's no medication for a concussion. You can't even see a concussion on like a CAT scan, X-ray, anything, because it's basically, if you have the symptoms, you have a concussion. But yeah, so they really couldn't do anything. They're just like, rest, hydrate, whatever. Same shit they tell you to do for everything, I swear. So I don't go to the doctors anymore, because you go, you waste your time, you waste your money for them to say, "Oh, drink a lot of fluids and rest." Like, I'd never go unless I'm dying, and I thought I was dying. So anyways, I had to rest like that whole week. And the thing that sucks is not even like, when you're sick and you feel like shit, you can watch TV, you can be on your phone. Yeah, you're bored, but at least you can do that. No, like, I couldn't do anything, because obviously, like the doctor said too, you can't focus on things for too long. That's gonna make it worse. And obviously it hurt. Like, if I was on my phone for more than, I'm not even kidding, like 2 minutes, my freaking brain started to hurt. I couldn't, like, bright lights still, or it's 3 weeks later and it's still like a lot right now. Not as bad, I'm getting better obviously, but the first week was the worst. Like, it's the worst pain ever. Like, every day I woke up with a migraine. Like, I felt like I was hungover, like dizzy nonstop. And it sucks. Like, I thank God, like, for my mom and Miguel and stuff like that. They obviously had to keep going to work, but my mom, which, she doesn't work too far, so she would come on her break, check up on me and things like that. And obviously when Miguel got out of work, he would help me. But like, for the majority of time, basically for 8 hours, I was by myself, like, having to try to use the bathroom, eat something so I can take my pills. Like, it was a lot, to do by myself. So yeah, it was, so I got like really bad migraines every day. You're dizzy, you feel off balance the whole time. Then a few days later, after my concussion, I get a freaking ear infection. I suffered from chronic ear infections when I was little. So if anybody knows, like, I literally had to get tubes in my ears. I got surgery, and when I was younger, so I know. So I woke up with ear pain, and it wasn't to the point that, because I've waited to the point that it got really bad, and then it's like excruciating pain that you can't take it, and like, I will cry. Like, I'm not kidding. Anybody that has they say ear infections in 2/8 are the worst. And yeah, ear infections, oh my God, I never got a toothache, but an ear infection, it feels like someone's stabbing your freaking ear. You start hearing double. Like, so it didn't get to the point that it was bad, but I've gotten it so many times throughout my life that I knew I was getting one. Like, I woke up ear pain, I started to hear double. So I was like, yep, this is the start of getting an ear infection. So I go to the doctors yet again, and she's like, she looks at my ear or whatever, And she's like, yeah, you have an ear infection. Like, there's fluid in your ear and whatever. And she's like, were you sick? And I was like, yeah, like 2 weeks ago. And it still wasn't, like, I was still congested. So that's why I got the ear infection. On top of having a freaking concussion, I get an ear infection. I'm like, anything else? Like, anything else? Like, I can't. So yeah, it was just bad. It was tough. Week 1 was the worst. 2, I started to get like whatever, but like the migraines went away after 10 days. Yeah, I literally counted. But, and you know, I get like headaches here and there, but not like migraine. So all I could do was sleep because I couldn't be on my phone, couldn't, you know, watch, couldn't watch TV. So yeah, it was pretty boring, pretty miserable. Week 2 it got better, but still I couldn't stand for a long time because then I would get really, really dizzy. I couldn't do things like at all. This is week 3 and I still feel off balance. Like, I sympathize with athletes that go through that. I don't even know how football players, this is why they get CTE. They freaking get concussions all the time and then like they go and play right after. I'm just like, I couldn't even function. I don't even know how you freaking got up to play football again, you know? Like, it's crazy. Like, it's just, it's not okay. Like, it's your brain. And I'm trying to like, cause like, I hate just laying down and like not doing anything. I could do that for one day, but like, damn, over 2 weeks, I'm like, enough. Like, you know, I tried to get back into things and I did, but very slowly. But, and I'm trying to like, people are like, you know, it's your brain, you have to give it time. Like, it's not gonna, but I'm just like in a rush. Like, I'm like, I don't have time to like just sit around. I have so much stuff to do. But honestly, the best thing you can do is just rest as much as possible. As miserable as it is, like, you have to take care of yourself. You can't rush into it. So I'm kind of like trying to remember that, but I'm just like, I can't, like, you know, this wedding is coming up in 2 months and well, a little over 2 months, and I just don't have time, you know? So I'm just hoping I get 100% better by next week. It'll be a month into it. But yeah, that is my story time video. If you have ever had a concussion, I feel for you. It's terrible. It definitely is. So yeah, that was my story time. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening to my story. I'm so happy to be back and ready to film videos. Like, I have so many ideas and I can't wait. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video.